With the advent of the personal computer and the internet, information is literally at the fingertips of the modern student. With the ready availability of a wealth of information, there is a new shift taking place in the way that this information is shared and taught. In a 2016 study done by the Babson Survey Research Group, it was reported that 28% of college students in the U.S. had taken at least one online class. And it isn't just college students who are benefiting from the shift in education. High school students, along with elite athletes and other non-traditional students, are taking advantage of the growth in online classes. While some people don't think that online classes can replace the face-to-face experience of traditional education, online classes are changing the way of learning and improving education by allowing non-traditional students to receive a degree, allowing individuals to complete coursework without having to travel to a physical campus, and giving students the flexibility to work through classes at their own pace. With the shift away from the traditional class to an online class, there are rising concerns about the communication, or lack thereof, between the students and their instructors. Research shows that the more students interact with their professors, the more they learn and are satisfied with their college experience, according to Sutherland. In online classes, professors and students interact through emails and discussion forums rather than face-to-face conversations. While the students can still communicate with their instructors, the lack of a personal interaction with the instructor takes the teacher out of teaching. In an online class, students have to adapt to the new style of learning, and for some, this may present a challenge as some students require added aid in instruction, and this might not be available to them in an online environment. But those who struggle with the course material would perform better in a physical classroom. For the student who can adapt to the different learning environment, there are many benefits that can be used to their advantage. For non-traditional students who are already in the workforce, online degree programs make it possible for them to have access to an education without sacrificing work or family commitments. Additionally, in an article by Musto, there is the idea that the average student that is working towards his or her degree in an online class is unable to leave their job, family, or other commitments to travel to a physical campus, while the average student who is pursuing a traditional program hasn't yet started a career and therefore has the ability to leave home and live on campus and go to a traditional classroom. Online learning has become a viable option for degree seekers whose lifestyles make it difficult or impossible to enroll in classes at a physical campus. These students can work from home and on their own time without being confined to a classroom. For both traditional and non-traditional students, as well as other students such as elite athletes and high school students who are taking online classes, there is the added benefit of not having to travel to a physical campus to receive their education. Rather than sitting in a traditional classroom, students learn on their home computers through email, dedicated source sites, and multimedia. Online classes not only offer students the chance to work from a location other than the physical campus, but learning at a distance also allows students to study with someone with special expertise and not have to travel. This is not only always a viable option for students who are in a classroom, as they are confined by the schedule of the classroom. As Lindstrom points out, students who are taking classes online now have access to classes that were previously unavailable for them to take in person. Some schools don't always offer all the classes that a student may want to take, and by taking classes online, they have access to that class that might be offered by another college that is halfway across the country. With online classes becoming a more viable option, students who are taking these classes are experiencing an added flexibility in their scheduling. As Musto points out in his article, by taking online classes, it allows students to still work full-time and allows them to schedule their schoolwork around their job. With this added flexibility, students are responsible for setting their own schedules and actively participating in virtual discussions. This means that students have to learn how to effectively manage their time in order to complete all of their required coursework by the due date. According to Lockhart, this flexibility also allows students to work at their own pace. They aren't stuck in a classroom that is moving too slow or too quickly. Students are given the chance to learn the material at their own pace. Lockhart also explains that taking online classes gives students added flexibility without sacrificing the guidance offered in a traditional classroom. Though the students are working through the classwork at their own pace, they can still have access to guidance if they need the extra assistance. With the advances in modern technology and the wealth of information available to the modern student, there is a major shift in how this information is taught and shared. Now students have the option to work from the comfort of their own home with a more flexible schedule by taking their coursework via the internet, whereas before they would have to travel to a physical campus and study in a classroom with their teacher or professor. With this shift from a traditional classroom to a virtual online classroom, there are rising concerns that the teacher is being removed from teaching and that the online discussions and forums cannot replace the experience of learning in a physical campus with a face-to-face communication with the instructor. Despite these concerns voiced by those who disagree with online education, there are many benefits to receiving an education via the internet, including but not limited to allowing non-traditional students to receive a degree, allowing individuals to complete coursework without having to travel to a physical campus, and giving students flexibility to work through classes at their own pace. Education has drastically changed in recent years with the improvements of technology and the easy access to the internet, and the benefits are being reaped by the modern student.